Did you know that CVS has remote positions that are always hiring and you don't even have to leave your home to do them? Welcome back to Gentifix Daily Leads, and today we're going to be talking about 5 remote CVS jobs you can apply for and start working right away. So let's get straight into them. The first job that we're going to be talking about is that of a sales call center representative one. Now, this is a fully remote role with little to no travel. Your main responsibilities is the patient acquisition and revenue growth of the company through outbound telemarketing and working within the hours of 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays. While working hours vary, there is a mandatory 4 week training period prior to starting, and that would take place from Monday to Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And this generally ends with several exams that you must pass in order to graduate and matriculate to the next level. Now, what will you be doing? You'll need to make at least 300 outbound calls daily and convert these leads into new patients. And of course, this includes booking doctor's appointments and just hitting your daily, weekly, and monthly targets. Some of the skills that can help you with this role is that of rapport building and active listening. You need to be able to communicate well and just be able to ask follow up questions to keep the conversation rolling. You need to overcome objection and just close a deal. In addition to that, you'll need to have a basic understanding of Medicare and insurance, and Salesforce or CRM experience is preferred. You must have prior remote work experience, high speed internet that you can hardwire your devices into, and a distraction free environment. Knowledge of Google Suite, and of course, professionalism and reliability are qualities that are needed. Finally, a high school diploma is the minimum qualification that is needed, and you need to be a US work authorized personnel. For this job lead, the compensation that you can expect to earn is between $15 to $24.23 per hour, and this is done on a full time basis of a 40-hour work week. The second job lead that we're going to be looking at is that of a travel clinician, and this is an in-house role. And what you're going to be doing is to provide personalized in-home health evaluation as a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. And one of the things that is going to be very important for this role is building trust directly with members within their own home. You can expect your environments to vary because you're going to be in person's home and they might have pets, they might smoke, or they might have potential allergens to you. So just be mindful of that. What you'll be doing though is that you're going to be conducting 45-minute home visits, reviewing medical history and medication, performing physical evaluation, conducting diagnosis such as eye examination, and of course, you're not going to be needing to prescribe or order any labs. You will, however, work with Signify Health as a clinical partner, and of course, you need to deliver preventative services like diabetic eye exam or bone density screening. Now, for this role, as it is a full time role, you will have paid time off, health, dental, and vision benefits, 401k malpractice coverage, annual CEU allowance, and of course, for this, you can expect your salary range to be anywhere between 78,000 as a starting salary up to 206,000. The third job lead that we have is that of a clinical call center triage nurse. And what that role requires you to do is to support the Oak Street health patients during and outside the normal office hours. This is going to require you to handle medical, social, and psychological concerns over the phone. Now, for this job, you will need to be a professional and confident person. So, you have to be a confidential individual as well. So, you will follow prescription refill policies, document accurately and clearly what you've heard or experienced while interacting with the patient. You need to schedule appointments, arrange transportations where necessary, complete all the tasks within the scope of your work, and sometimes you might work mostly based on a phone or in a remote office setting. Of course, for this role, there is training that is going to be required, and paid time off can be granted where necessary. The requirements for this job is a little bit different as you will need to have a minimum of 6 months experience as a triage registered nurse, and you need strong problem solving, communication skills, and ability to meet key metrics such as the average handle time, calls per hour, quality metrics, and of course the clinical escalation tracker management. You need to be flexible, so this might require you to work on the weekends, in the evenings, or even on holidays. But overall, they do require reliable attendance, and you need to have US work authorization for this role, with the compensation coming in at $29.10 up to $62.32 per hour. Now, the fourth job is that of a case manager, and that's a registered nurse who would be involved in working intensely over the phone to support patients and their care team for fully self insured clients. Now, what you'll need to do for this role is to apply clinical judgment to develop strategic ways to address complex health and social needs, interpret management plans, policies, and regulatory standards, assess benefits and the needs of members, present case and in multidisciplinary conferences, use holistic approach to remove barriers and meet your goals, and of course to ensure compliance with the regulations and the standards of the company that you're working for. This role requires the most experience as it wants you to have 5 years experience as a registered nurse with a minimum 1 year in a hospital setting. And of course, it wants you to have some amount of experience, minimum a year in oncology, transplant specialty, pharmacy, pediatric medicine or surgery, behavioral health, substance abuse, and so forth. You also need to be have an active unrestricted nursing license in your state of choice. This role is available in multiple states, but you have to be willing to obtain multi-state or compact privileges. Electronic document skills is a plus, and if you are bilingual, that is even better. It requires you to have a nursing diploma or an associate degree, but of course, they prefer if you have a bachelor's of science in nursing. For this job lead, the compensation starts at $54,095 annually up to $155,338 per year. The fifth and final job lead that we have is that of a call center service advocate. And for this role, you will be providing outstanding patient experience through exceptional customer service and accurate appointment scheduling. And this will be done via inbound and outbound calls. So, as was mentioned before, you'll be setting appointments, you'll be doing data entry and documentation, you'll need to follow up with your patients, send out reminders through calls, problem solving and collaboration, working in a remote office setting where you're mostly going to be sitting for a long time. And of course, you will need to be able to work 40 hours per week in a 24/7 environment, which might require you to work on the weekends. Now, in terms of what is required for you to get this job, a minimum of 6 months experience in customer service or remote work, a PC proficiency is very important. Google Suite knowledge is a plus. High speed hardwired internet is also necessary. And of course, your workspace needs to be quiet and private. If you have a high school diploma, that is great. Strong time management and multitasking skills would thrive in this job. Excellent phone etiquette, US work authorization. And for this job, if you are bilingual, whether it is Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, or Polish, then that's a bonus. You would be a preferred candidate. Now, the compensation for this job is $17, starting up to $34.15 per hour. And that's it. There we have it. 5 remote jobs that CVS has hiring now. And there is no deadline for these jobs. So these are continuously hiring. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more daily leads. And of course, I'll see you in the next one.